Cast iron stoves have been adding warmth to people's lives for more than 3 centuries. Today, there are new reasons to cozy up to this invention. It's had a major update. Modern stoves burn wood more cleanly and efficiently, providing heat without the dirty fallout from the chimney. Modern cast iron stoves hardly resemble their smoke-belching, soot-spewing predecessors. The design creates a hotter fire, so it requires less fuel and releases little smoke. It all starts with a pile of iron scrap. Things like old stoves, sinks, brake drums, and rotors. A magnetized crane transfers the scrap to a propane-fired preheater. 12 minutes spent in the preheater removes moisture from the iron scrap. The scrap iron spills into a hopper that funnels it into an electric furnace. The temperature in the furnace is a blistering 2,700 degrees Fahrenheit, and the iron melts into a fiery liquid. The furnace tilts to pour the molten iron into a ladle for transfer. Next, they make the molds of the stove parts, using a mix of sand, clay, water, and coal. They blow the ingredients between the aluminum patterns. A hydraulic system squeezes the patterns together. The sand mix compacts and takes the shape of the patterns. They now have sand molds. The molten iron arrives and flows into a channel leading to the molds. As the liquid metal cools, it solidifies into the shape of the mold. A vibrating conveyor shakes and breaks the sand molds to reveal the cast iron stove parts. A worker knocks off unwanted bits, and then it's into a blast cleaner. Inside the blast cleaner, steel grit bombards the stove parts to remove remnants of the sand molds and expose the metal. Essentially, it blasts the dirt off and they come out clean. An employee grinds the edges of the metal stove parts. He blends in the line created where the 2 parts of the mold came together during casting. It takes 40 parts to make one wood-burning stove, and each one is cast in a sand mold made from a pattern. Next, a worker drills threads for the bolts that will hold all the parts of the stove together. Once the surface of the parts has been prepped, they spray an enamel coating onto them and bake it on. A laser then cuts out a steel heat shield for the back of the wood stove. The intricate cuts are computer-driven. An employee bends the heat shield to fit the stove. Next, a worker packs a kind of mortar into a silicone mold of the firebox. The table it's on vibrates to settle the material and eliminate air pockets, so the firebox will be able to withstand high temperatures. The shape of the firebox is crucial to the stove's energy efficiency, and so are the holes that have been molded into it. These strategically located holes will introduce fresh air to burn off gases that would otherwise go up in smoke, preventing energy loss and pollution at the same time. The parts have all been fabricated, and they're ready to put the pieces together. They assemble the stove from the bottom up. They bolt the parts and seal the joints to make them airtight. The assembly takes about an hour. This cast iron stove is now ready to keep these fires burning for many years to come.